Hey, what's going on? I'm going to show you how to do some label casting today. There's a lot of good videos on YouTube already. PTownSubbie has a good one, which is, I'm going to be using his molds today, along with his rolling jig, which is very helpful. His templates to cut out the images. What else you're going to need is the image itself, right? I use the paper from onlinelabels.com. You're gonna need some brass tubes. I got the ones for Sierra or Monarch, depending on where you get it from. Bolt action. You're also gonna need a scale, depending on the resin or epoxy you're using. Today I'm using Alumilite Clear Slow. You need a mixing cup. And that's basically, well, something to mix it up with, right? Other than that, I got the molds on a piece of wood for transportation to make it easier. Here's some examples from other ones I've done. As you can see, it says PTownSubbie on top because the mold has it. And here's one that's turned down. Today I'm going to be making 4 Sierras and then 4 bolt action. I'm going to be using some NFTs that my friends will let me use. And I'll be doing some Marine Corps ones as well. I am licensed through the Marine Corps to sell these Marine Corps blanks. So before you try to do anything with the military, make sure you get the proper licensing because they don't play, unfortunately. Just bring you in closer. So first we can start with the Sierras because all these on top are 4 Sierras. You can take the template, put it over the image, try to line it up as best as you can. Remember, some of this will be cut off because the tube isn't this long. Make it oversized to make it easier. Take a marking knife or a blade of some sort to cut it. Lifting it like that, well, the template's still on there is an easy way to check if you cut through all the way. Well, you can see this one just got messed up, so gonna have to redo that one. Good thing I got another one, right? Always be prepared. We'll go with the next one. And that one just got messed up as well. What you can do is you can take your paper, place it down. Like I said earlier, templates make it a lot easier. Originally I was using this, but it's messing up the image. As you can see, it's just ripping it off. So I'm switching to my little box cutter. See if this makes it any better. Line it up the best you can. And apply pressure down so you don't move it. There you go. It's easier to keep pushing down on the template, the one that you just cut out, and try lifting up the paper so you know if you need to cut through more. This one actually came out pretty well. If you know anything about NFTs, this is from Coalition Crew. It's a good NFT to get into if you're into that kind of thing. Go to another one. Again, line it up. Be careful when you're cutting too, because I just cut into that one. But I'm gonna go through, make all 8 of them, and make sure you don't have to sit through all that. So I'll come back when I put them on tubes. All right, so now we're at the putting the image on the tube part. Got this one cut out. This one. These are all bolts action down here. One thing about Iwo Jima, I actually had the opportunity to go there in 2014 and climb Mount Suribachi. It was when I was stationed in where I'm at now, so I'm on my 2nd tour in Hawaii. It was a great experience, and thankful for everyone who actually served during Iwo Jima and gave the ultimate sacrifice. We got a Veterans Memorial one here for Vietnam. Now all my grandfather and his brothers all served during Vietnam. Unfortunately, my grandpa didn't live long enough to see me make it through boot camp and receive my EGA, but I know he watches down on me every day. These are all Monarchs or Sierras. So we'll show you how to do one. We'll start with a tribute to the great Kobe Bryant. I always have trouble getting the backs of these off, so I use like a marking knife or something to get in between it. And it usually works, so here we go. You take your tube, put it here. If you have any problems with like the top or bottom, put that away so it goes towards the top of the blank from here, because that part will be cut off anyways. So I got some white up here, so I'm gonna put this side down like this. Make sure it's square to it, slide it underneath, and apply pressure. Rolling back and forth helps, or you can just roll all the way and then keep rolling. Get that pressure on the tube. One thing I do too is I scuff up the tubes so that way the adhesive from the back can get into the little crevices and adhere better. So I hope, at least. Can't tell you for sure. but not too bad. You got a little bit of white here. Like I said, the top part comes off anyways. There's a little bit of excess here. Go with another one. Go with a pirate. Again, using the marking knife to get between the image itself and the back. This one looks good. There's a little bit of white at the bottom, so that will go towards the top. Make sure you grab the right tubes, because if not, it's not going to come out right. Slide that up. Roll on the first part. Roll all the way. Roll a couple more times to make sure it's on there well. This one came out a lot better. There's no white. It just cuts off. Let's do a bolt action so you can see what that's like as well. It's not really different, but might as well show both, right? So this one I don't see anything. These tubes are easy to differentiate though. Monarchs are bigger than bolt action. So place that on there. Any way you want to put it. I try to use my nail to hold it down so I don't get the oils from my fingers on there. Slide it up. Roll. And it actually didn't come out well. So make sure, and you can see it's crooked on the tube. Got lucky with this one. See if I can do it again. Nope, that one's a no-go. Try the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. So it popped up a little bit here in the middle, but I was able to fix it just by pressing down. And I'll come back when I have them all ready to put in the mold and then get the epoxy on there. So for the little excess on top, let's see if I can get to focus. What I do, I mean, I've seen multiple ways for it to be done, but the easiest for me is to get a chisel and like pare it away. Towards the inside, so that way you don't peel off the the colored portion of it. Then if there's any excess, like the small things, so you don't have to worry about it, when you go to true up the blank afterwards, you can do that with your little drill or however you do it with your sander. And if you have this happen, so leaning forward, just push it back before you get to that portion of it. Alright, so these molds I took out of the oven, so they're kind of hot. The way I do it and what I've seen is take the blank or the pen, the tube, slide it onto the stop, push it in, grab your other one, your plug, sorry, remember the name, get it in there lined up, pull the outsides, so that way the pressure is pulling it inwards, right? Try to see if you can get it as centered as possible. Now these molds work for both bolt action and Sierras, so that's why I'm able to do both at the same time. We'll do all bolt action in one and then the Sierras in another. But it's the same process for both, so don't stress it. It's nothing crazy. If I can do it, you can do it. So there's all the bolt actions. Let's move on to the Sierras. Some people like to put it to where the seam in the back is facing up, so that we can see if it delaminates from the tube itself. But I haven't had a problem lately, so however they go in here is how they're going in there. The same thing, try and get it as centered as possible. This is the faster of the process. If you got some bits or like dust in your mold, don't worry about it as well. I mean, if you're selling it, make sure they're dust free. But for me, I'm just making these, so the outside can have a little bit of dust on it and it won't bother me because it's gonna be turned out anyways. So there, we got them all in the molds. Now it's time to mix them with some epoxy. So these molds take about, I think it's 20 to 26 grams in each little crevice or each pocket. So 80, I'm gonna mix up 200 grams and whatever's excess, I'm gonna make another one of these. I got this idea from Ben's Works, so shout out to him for the idea. Eventually I plan on turning this, but don't know when that will be. So I got my scale, turn it on. Zero it out. Part A. Well, I already went over because I was rushing it. So we're at 114 on A. Zero it out. Do 114 on B. And I went over it again. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of A. Like I said, I'm not worried about making more because I'll just make another one with blanks. Every time I mix it up. You want to stir it up so you don't see any streaks in it from part A and part B. Scrape the sides so you have it fully mixed. Make sure you get the bottom as well. Now for Alumilite Clear Slow, you need a pressure pot to get rid of these bubbles. So after this, we're going to be going to a pressure pot. Just make sure you got it mixed up well. I don't see any streaks. On each cavity at the top, because once it cures, it's going to pull back a little bit. You don't want to go too slow because Clear Slow only has a 12-minute open time, or working time, sorry. So don't take your time with this, otherwise it'll start curing before you can get it into the pressure pot. And with the excess, I'm going to add some eye candy pigments, Okinawa green. Mix that up. And pour it in my big cup. Come into the pressure pot now. Put a block on there so the bottom's level. For this, it doesn't really matter because more will be added later. Put the top on. Turn it up just like if you were doing a car. And start pattern. Be careful not to shake it too much because then you might spill your epoxy from the mold. Alright, this on there tight. Get my air hose. Attach it. I take it to about 52 psi. So basically we're like almost vertical. There it is. Now we wait. Once I pull them out in about four hours, I'll show you what the final product is. Alright, it's the next day. Yesterday got too late to come out here and do this, dealing with the kids. I re-emptied out the air, so you don't have to go through that. Now let's open it up, get them out. First, just the little excess, not too bad. So we got them. Something happened, they didn't come out that well. But we can still make them work. You can see some of it whitened, so the ratio was off. But it didn't happen on all of them. Let's get them out. So the best way to get them out, wiggle these in a circle. They break free, pop out. Now they suggest spraying these with a non-stick mold release. And there. If the white's on the outside only, then you just turn it away. But if it goes all the way down, these are useless. This one came out good. Got a little bit of white here, but it shouldn't come off anyways. The Iwo Jima flag raising came out good as well. This motivated one came out well. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial one has a little bit of white here, but it looks like that'll turn away. Iwo Jima with a flag background. A couple air bubbles, but again, those will turn away. And this part will come off anyways. All the way on this one's just on the surface. And we'll have to turn and see how this one turns out. Same thing with this one. So I got a couple examples of turn pens, the actual completed product. This is on the Sierra Monarch and the bolt action. I do sell these blanks if anyone's interested. You can reach me on Instagram or Facebook. Same thing, it's 909_woodworks. I'd be happy to make them. Just let me know. If you got any questions, comments, leave them below. Or any suggestions for anything, a new video. I'm always looking for ideas. I'm pretty bad when it comes to recording videos. First, I don't like talking on the camera. It's weird to me. And then I just always forget to record. So if you got any ideas, let me know. And I'll do what I can. Thank you.